Hey, I'm Daniel. I'm here with my block of tofu. I have Mark Bittman on a Zoom. I'm gonna let him explain everything that we're doing, and then we will start cooking. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Daniel. So, hey everybody, it's Mark. Many of you have missed the videos that I used to do at the New York Times, the minimalist videos, so we decided to revive them in a different form. It's gonna be with me and lots of other people, sometimes not even with me. But I'm starting with my good friend Daniel, my friend and colleague Daniel Meyer, and we're going to do a bunch of stuff today, starting with Daniel's soon-to-be famous twice-cooked tofu.
So you know when you go to Sichuan restaurants and they have that great and super popular dish called twice-cooked pork or double-cooked pork? It's a slab of pork belly, boiled and then sliced thin and then stir-fried, except instead of the pork belly, we're gonna use this block of tofu. This is extra firm tofu, but it's still pretty smushy and has a lot of water in it. We wanna dry it out, we wanna get it chewy, we wanna get it a little bit meatier. So the first thing we wanna do is basically just cut it into slabs. We're gonna do 1/4-inch slices. It won't be exact. I know that you are a proponent of erratic knife skills, so this will suit you. This will suit you perfectly, because if you get it a little bit thinner, then they'll be crispier. If you get it a little too thick, then they'll be a little more pliable. And honestly, even if you have no intention of making this final dish, being able to do this to tofu is kind of a revelation if you've never done it before. So I'm just gonna throw this in a 250 oven, and it takes, I don't know, about an hour and a half. And we're just gonna flip it once halfway through, and we'll put the rest together from there.
You're putting nothing on there.
Oh yeah, don't put salt, because everything we're gonna put into this stir fry is like pure salt. All these amazing Sichuan condiments that are fermented, and so just as is, and we'll pop it in the oven. It's about halfway done. You can start to see it's like yellowing a little bit around the edges, but it's still on the soft side. So we just wanna flip each piece over. You can do it the dumb way with your fingers, or you can do it the careful way with a spatula. I'm gonna do it the dumb way.
The dumb way looked more efficient.
It is, and these pans cool down pretty quickly, so not bad. All right, so we're just gonna throw it back in for another 45 minutes. The tofu is just doing its thing in the oven. So we're gonna do the leeks. We just want to cut off this root end. How much of the green part would you cut off?
I would cut that part off because there's nothing good in there. You can cut sort of a V so that you're cutting more of the dark green stuff and less of the white stuff from the bottom towards the, yeah.
Cut it in half lengthwise so that you can kind of split it apart, but it's still connected. Now we can go on to making the sauce that's gonna go with this. Okay, so now this is where all of the flavor and salt of this dish is gonna come in. When we have a hot skillet and we're stir frying and things are going fast, the last thing I wanna be doing is like getting a tablespoon of this and putting it in, and a tablespoon of that. So basically, I'm gonna put everything that we're putting in the sauce in one dish and have it ready to go so we can pour it all in at one time. What are your thoughts on pre-peeled garlic?
I was a fan of it for a long time. I can't get it, so I don't do it. And I grow garlic now, so it's my garlic. There's no one to pre-peel it except me.
All right, well, if anybody watching this happens not to grow their own garlic, then just consider this as an option. Now it's time for the condiments. The first one, everybody please pardon my pronunciations. This is called doubanjiang. It's fermented chilies and fava beans. So we're gonna do a tablespoon of that. We're gonna do a tablespoon of sugar.
White death.
What?
White death. White death.
We're gonna do a tablespoon of white death, otherwise known as sugar. We just want a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of white death to balance out the spice. a tablespoon of fermented black beans, which are actually not black beans at all, but soybeans that are fermented in salt. They are incredibly flavorful, so I'm gonna do just a tablespoon. The last thing is this tianmianjiang, which you would see sold as like sweet bean paste. Again, confusing because it's not a bean product, it's fermented wheat and salt. We want something to bring it together, and that thing, and don't get angry, is gonna be vegetable oil. Because the thing about replacing pork belly with tofu is that tofu has significantly less delicious fat that renders out of it when you cook it, and by less I mean none. So I'm gonna put in a 1/4 cup. You want some nice red oil just floating around the pan once we get there. I'm just gonna show you how it comes together. We've got enough. Good?
More.
Good?
More. Do it to the point where you're worried that the oil.
I'm worried. I'm worried it's gonna spill out. And now this is everything that's going into the dish. So it's all together and we can just dump it in one moment and not be too stressed when we're at the stove. Now we just have to wait for our tofu to dry out and we will get to the stove. Okay. I'm gonna tilt it as far as I can towards you so you can see. I would say they're brown, but they're actually more like yellowed. That's just the color they get. So if you compare it to
So smart, yes.
this versus this, like you've really just taken a lot of the water out, you've made the texture better and really incredible, and this will just crisp up. So the only thing we're gonna do, since I don't want them in such huge pieces, is to just have them. You know what? Not efficient.
Yes, I was gonna say, I was hoping you'd make it a little black.
Okay. I know you've been around the block, I'm getting there. Great. So these are ready to go, but now we're just gonna bring it to the stove and finish the dish.
Okay,
All right.
show me.
Oh, what a nice little cup of coffee you got. All right, medium-high heat. I'm just gonna put maybe 2 tablespoons of oil. We just want something for the tofu. I don't wanna crowd anything too much because I don't want things to steam and boil rather than fry and crisp. So we're just gonna do the tofu first. I just wanna toss it around so it's all coated in oil, get it in an even layer. This is not tremendously high stakes cooking. It'll crisp. If we did it right, they'll get these nice little sort of skin bubbles on the outside, almost like a chicharron, sort of. Again, like we're trying to make tofu into pork. Oh yeah, wait, let me show you, Mark. See, even these little like blistery bubbles that form on the outside. This is good. This is what we want. I'm gonna take them out with tongs because I wanna leave as much oil in there as possible for the leeks. I'm gonna turn the heat up to high for this because, again, they're sort of steaming at first before they start to brown. So that probably takes 5 minutes. All right, I just tried a leek. They're pretty much tender. They have nice color. I'm calling them done for stage 1. So we're gonna just move the leeks to one side, create an empty space in the pan, and then we're just gonna pour the sauce in the empty part of the pan and let it sizzle till the garlic is fragrant. Won't take long. The pan is hot.
I can smell it.
Yeah, I wish you were here now, Mark. And see, this sort of oil floating around is what you want. It's not pork fat, but it's not bad. All right, so the tofu goes in right into the oil, and now it's just a toss to combine deal. So I'll throw it into a bowl and I'll eat it while you watch.
Yeah, I could use some of that.
All right, Mark, I'm sorry you're not here to eat this, but I'm gonna have to try it without you.
I'm sorry, I'm not there to eat it too.
It's very hot, not spicy, just hot, but the tofu is really, really, really good. A little bit crisp, chewy, firm, meat-like, if you wanna go there. So before I devour all of this, which I think I actually will, just to recap, this was double-cooked tofu with Leeks Sichuan-Style. As we said, this is the first of many, many more minimalist videos to come with Mark, with others without Mark. We can't wait to get them all to you. Thank you, Mark.
I'm really envious you're getting to eat that, but thanks for showing it to me. I'm gonna make it soon.